Hey guys, Flabaliki here today and welcome back to Cities Skylines. It's quite unorthodox in this channel now that we have two of these videos in a row, but I was pretty excited to start building this area out and really making it come to life a lot more than it currently was. So here we are, we're back over where we did the Chirp X launch site and we're basically redesigning most of the area because after I built it last time, we kind of just quickly put it in at the end of the episode. So I wanted to come back and make it look good and be functional. And there's a lot of feedback to turn it into like a town area nearby and all that kind of stuff. So that's exactly what we're doing today for the first I don't know. This episode's quite a lot of time lapse. The time lapse in front of me right now is about 14 minutes, but I've actually got more to add to it. So it'll be a bit longer than that if you want to skip it, then we'll go through it all. But to start off with, the first thing I had to do was fix the train line because that was just really dumb last time. Also, the road was really dumb last time too. So all of that is being fixed up and changed and made to look better. The idea was that we'd have this sort of government facility, which, you know, is the launch site, the cargo airport, which, I mean, is really just a cargo airport, but it kind of looks like some sort of secretive delivery airport or something. I don't know. But anyway, it serves two purposes. It looks cool, fits the facility, and it also will serve the whole city as a cargo import-export location. And it actually does get used quite a lot, which I'm really happy with. So we basically, as you can see, they bulldozed a lot of the area around where we'd built this in, and then I'm doing quite a lot of terraforming around here as well, just to make the railway look like it fits in a bit more than it does, because it was really raised up, but I wanted it to make it like blend in a lot more and you know, look a little nicer and be more gradual and basically just make more sense than it did. I wasn't really sure what to do with the whole area in terms of which way I wanted to take it. Like, I had originally planned to do a lot of sort of offices and zoning all around the sort of facility here, but I actually decided not to do that in the end. And you'll probably see, because I edited the bits out where I actually did do that because I decided to demolish it all in the end. So there's no point watching me do it and then remove it. But I actually did it yesterday. And then, so yesterday I did all this, then today I'm recording commentary. And I came back to it today and I'm like, this looks really dumb. So I go through the complete different plan B, which I think looks epic in the end. I'm really excited for it. So yeah, we decided to use the toll booth, as I think you guys suggested as well, was like a really good sort of like little security entrance kind of thing that we could plop in here. So it kind of looks like, you know, some sort of security gate, but it also, you know, it's just a toll booth. So, you know, people pay money to come in here, which is cool. And then we just did like a little roundabout. I think this is one of the suggestions, was to like add a roundabout with one bit going over to the facility and then the other bit, you know, continuing on the main road. And then it also joins up with a local town nearby where obviously people who work at the site would tend to live, or at least that's how we imagine it. I don't think that's the way the game works. I think people just live wherever the hell they want in this game. So, you know, whatever. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I actually moved the airport. The airport was working fine, except for the fact that when planes were coming into land, they were literally scraping the treetops of the mountain behind it. Which is a slight issue. They didn't actually hit the mountain. They didn't go in the mountain. They just sort of brushed the treetops. And I'm like, well, that just looks stupid. So that's why I've moved it over the other side and moved it a little further out. And then when we do put it in, you can see I sort of make sure that the angle is going to work. And then I make sure when planes come into land, it all looks good. So it makes more sense. So yeah, this is me putting it in here, trying to figure it out, because I was just like, because the thing is, we've got lots of space and we can terraform all those little hills there to make it a bit more flat, get it to fit in how we want it to. And I was also making sure, as you can see, I've adjusted it again, making sure not to aim it directly at, you know, other stuff that might happen to be in the way, because we need to make sure that it makes sense. And yeah, so I cleaned out some of the area at the end of the runway too, and I think I later on demolished some trees. Saying demolish trees is a weird way to say that, but I removed some trees that were in the area, so it looks like, you know, we sort of cleared it for planes to come in and land and all that. Because they take off in the direction of, they take off away from the facility and then they land from the direction of the facility, if that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, you'll probably see it maybe even in the time lapse or as we jump into the game a little bit later anyway. So these things are always easier just to see rather than me trying to explain it. So I guess we can just wait. So I tend to like to make roundabouts out of like these regular roads and then change them to something else, because if you use the regular roads with zoning, they snap a lot easier. Like you can just snap them to the 90-degree angles and snap into the grid, whereas highway roads never seem to snap. And then the reason I changed them to highway roads is because I don't have zoning on them, and I didn't want any zoning on this little turnaround. It was just like, I didn't need to do that there, but I put that turnaround there because it seemed a little bit nicer than just having a dead-end road. So that's kind of why that ended up being there. And then so this area is where I'm trying to figure out how to get the railway to connect. Because obviously we've got the rail going above the road. And then I'm like, okay, well, it's going to have to like slope all the way down. It's a little bit steep. Then I actually in the end decided, which I think I'm doing it now, I decided in the end to actually raise up the entire airport, which I thought was also a good idea because it means the airport is higher up. So the runway's above the roads and all that. Obviously the railway is the same height as the runway, but I still figured it was better than the other way around where the railway was actually above the runway, because that seemed like a little too close for comfort. I mean, at the end of the day, city skylines, it actually doesn't matter. You can put buildings right at the end of the runway if you want. You can put buildings in the runway if you want, and it still works, but it looks dumb. So we want it to at least look good. That's the plan. So we have this main road that connects to this area, and I thought it'd be nice to just have some tree, like a little bit of a tree line between the main road and the railway. And then I do the same thing on the other side. I do a tree line between the main road and then like the residential and town area, which all of this is going to be. And because this is a brand new town, and it's not one that's supposed to be established for a while. It's very grid-based. It's very sort of like, let's just quickly build a town. It's very much like the government's just like, okay, we need somewhere for these people to live. Let's just build a town real quick. We're going to lay a grid down on this hillside, and that's what we're going to do. And I think it looks pretty good. It's not all just like this. Like as we start adding more stuff in, and obviously I'm smoothing it out a little bit because it's a little bit rough around the edges. So the smoother the better. That's kind of what we're going for here. Yeah, so that's basically the area there between the road, that main road. I put a bunch of trees in there because I was like, that'd be a nice little sort of green space there between. And it also keeps them a little bit further away from the sort of facility across the train line and the road. I thought it'd be nice to have that sort of buffer zone almost. And then we just sort of expanded out over this way, making sure to do different angles. Because while grids can, I guess, be seen as maybe boring or uninspired, you can tend to make them look quite interesting if you just give them a little bit more angle. It's kind of like the rest of the city in the dirty, disgusting area of the city, which obviously we're not using all the dirty old roads out here because this is, like I said, this is a new build for the story of this region, so it's like a newer area. So obviously we're using all the new roads and not old and decrepit like the rest of it. So yeah, so that's what's going on here. And using on the new roads. And yeah, so it's like the grids in the rest of the city where those are, they're still grids, but they're very much more free form grids. So they're not very strictly determined, if that makes sense. I don't know. They're a little bit more loose. Anyway, playing with roundabouts here, making sure that we set up all the roundabout rules, specifying lanes. If you don't do this with roundabouts, the AI is pretty dumb. You have to like tell them where they can go and where they can't go, and tell them to give way because otherwise they don't give way properly. So if you do all this, then it usually works pretty well for a high amount of traffic. And that's what I did. What are we doing next? I think I just start zoning it in maybe? Nope, I lied. I think I'm building more roads. Yeah, I kind of just wanted to plan out this area because I figured it might be good just to get this whole area planned out and then go from there. And I figured as well, because this is it's quite a big project, this area. And I was like, if we just did this in live gameplay, we'd probably spend the whole episode just building roads. And actually, I mean, this whole time lapse, the bit we're doing now it's like an hour long. So, and I feel like an hour long with live commentary usually would add more time to it because I'm talking as well. So it'd probably take an hour and a half to do the same job. And then it'll also take like 3 episodes, which now that we're doing episodes a little bit more infrequently as well, it'd probably be like 3 weeks or something until we're done with this. So that's why I was like, you know what, let's just do this. And I was feeling quite inspired to build this area out. So I didn't want to wait around. So I was like, let's just get into it. Let's go for it. I thought that was kind of an interesting little intersection. That was just something a bit different I did because it's coming in at such a sharp angle. And I wanted the road to merge together, but I obviously didn't want people doing a really sharp left-hand turn, so I just added that little slip lane in onto that diagonal road there, which I think works quite well. What else? I think I'm trying to decide what I want to do there. That's where I think I cut out a bunch of stuff I did over the other side, which I regretted and then completely deleted and changed. So that's why if there's any weird cuts, it's usually because I'm doing stuff over the other side. Yeah, so I continue to make this place bigger because I was like, this area will probably begin to fill in all of this space. And even when we do get into the gameplay, like the live game, I'm thinking I probably want to make this town bigger because it's pretty much filled out in the time that I built this and then let the game run and then decided I wanted to do different things. We need to sort of change it up. Oh, actually, also the rocket is ready to launch as well. That also happened whilst I was doing all this. So the rocket, we can hit launch. I have no idea what it does, but it played a cool animation as it came out of the hangar. This is probably really old news to you guys, because that rocket has been in the game for a long time now, but I've never used it, so it's completely new to me, so I'm excited. So stick around if you want to see that. Make sure the whole area's got pipes and all that. You can see there's a lot of roads over here, which all these roads actually completely change. And I did actually zone in all of that. But like I said, I cut all that out because we're changing that anyway. So do not worry about that. So that area over that side is called Concord, because I think it was called like Concord Hills or something, but I just got rid of the hills, or District or something, because Concord's a cool name, so I enjoyed that. And then the other, I don't know, we got to actually, that's something we need in the comments down below. We need to name the facility, because I was going to base it on the town name, but then I was like, Concord, that's not really a good name for a facility. So in the comments down below, let me know your suggestions for this government launch site facility. Name suggestions and all that. Yeah, that's something we haven't done in a long time, is like naming stuff properly. I usually never do it. I don't know what it is. I just don't really care what things are called. They kind of just have, but I feel like the facility, it needs something. Maybe it's just called the facility. Wow, that's lame. Don't suggest that. That's a bad name. Although we can call it that for now. Anyway, zoning in this area here, make sure I've got a good balance of commercial, and we've obviously got all the schools and all the services, because this is really far away from the rest of the city. We needed to make sure that we had all the services out here. And actually, something interesting that happened that I didn't really think about, because we only have one road connection to this entire area, mind you, and we only have a cargo train connection. This area here, this is back over in the other fancy new area of the city, that this is the only road connection we had, and it became incredibly busy and traffic was just backing up. I did originally add more lanes here, as you can see, but I think I actually undid that because I didn't like it. I'm not sure what I do. I don't know if I undo that or not. And I was like, okay, we need a highway connection, but it's actually this whole area. I think we might need to just like sort of demolish some of this area and rebuild a new highway interchange, because the highway interchange is obviously designed as a like sort of a three-way sort of entry and exit. Well, not three-way, but you have the highway up top, and then it exits and enters from one road going in one direction. We really need a road going underneath that the highway joins to, rather than what I've done. This was just a quick fix, basically, and that's something I need to change, but we won't do that in the live play. That's something I'll probably just do in between parts or whatever. But yeah, so I had to raise up the railway here a little bit, because I was going to get a highway road underneath. I was making sure this was all smooth still and it all still worked. So basically, the highway entrance and exit, they now go down and it goes to a roundabout, which I think I'll build in a second. Oh, you know what? I might have already built it. Maybe? I don't know what I did. Anyway, I do a roundabout here, which turns out to be a really bad idea, because this has a crazy amount of traffic on it too. And it's a little too small to work as a really good roundabout. I'll show you what I did in the game, because I don't know if I've completely recorded all of that stuff. So yeah, this is where I just do a roundabout, because this roundabout actually works really, really well. It's just not the best solution. I think it's the quickest and most efficient solution with what we've already got. But really, we should probably just redesign the entrance and exit ramps from the highway to get a better, just generally a better flowing system than what we have. But for now, this worked and it did the job, and I was able to handle all the traffic that was flowing in and out of the area here. So, I was like, yeah, that'll do. Yeah, that'll do. So it actually, that sort of entrance ramp to the highway here is actually, I was like, that actually flows really nicely directly up the highway. Like, it's such a smooth turn off. I actually quite like that. The entrance, well, the exit there is not as good, but anyway. Yeah, so we join the avenue there. Then we have this road. This one here is the one that goes to the whole new area. It comes down the bottom and goes around like that. And you can see it looks pretty ridiculous, doesn't it? You have like this roundabout and then all these roads just spaghettiing all over the place. It doesn't look great. It does not look great. That's something we got to fix. So now that we've sort of established the town over there, and you can see quite how much it's actually filled in over that side, I decided to, and I think this was a suggestion from the comments as well, was to sort of cordon off an area around the launch site and have that as the facility. So I'm using the road that you can see at the moment as like a way to build up the border. And I figured essentially doing 90-degree turns and 45-degree turns around the place kind of looks like it looks like a more realistic kind of fence that you'd see around the place. I built an actual fence, don't worry, but I'm just using the road because it was an easy way to get the angles right and all that and get everything to snap how we needed it to. So yeah, I used that and built it around, and I'm like, this looks so much better than what I had before. If you had seen what I'd done before, you would have been like, dude, you just turned a good idea into something garbage, but this looks way better. Like, just then zoomed out, I'm like, man, yeah, that looks good. It's like, that looks good. So I was quite happy with that. And then I actually end up using this sound barrier fence, which is not really some sort of secure fence. I might actually go download a new fence. There's got to be like some sort of secure concrete fence that actually looks quite big or something on the workshop. I don't know. I have to look into that. But yeah, for now I use this one just because it's literally the biggest fence that I have. So that means, from further away we can still see it rather than the smaller ones that are a bit harder to see. And I also left the this road here as like the perimeter road going around because that also gives us a good visual of the barrier. So that I left that in because I thought that was quite a nice little detail. Obviously the trains have to come in and out of the area too, so there is just a gap there, but I mean there's not really anything I can do about that, so we kind of just left that in the area. And then that fence is there. The toll booth is the other gate, and I'm just making sure I joined all the corners, which I hadn't yet, so I had to go back. There we go, and then that's looking pretty good. And then essentially I sort of do a tree line around the facility as well. I don't like completely forest the entire flat area, but I just want to, like a little bit of a forest around the place so it is a little bit more private, a little bit more secluded, except at the end of the runway on the other side. I cleaned that out because that's where planes take off, so I figured we'd leave that open. And then over here is where I'm doing like an office park, a commercial park, industrial park area. So there's not going to be any residential over here. This is, I guess, where citizens from the other town, well, it's the same town, but from the other side of the main road can come over here. Maybe they're working, they're shopping. I put in one of the shopping centers here as well. There's some industrial stuff going on here. Oh, and I do the recycling plants over here too. Yeah, that's right. This area has recycling. They don't even burning garbage over this side. Because I figured, we need a lot more jobs and a lot more places for them to go. We also just generally, as you can see, have quite a bit of commercial and industrial demand. So over this side, we're building up some offices and commercial, all that kind of stuff. And in the middle there, I use the two one-way roads that almost create like a big sort of avenue, which I thought was kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a cool idea rather than just having one normal road. Because I didn't really want to do a giant road, but I also wanted it to feel a bit more grand in a way. I don't know. I just wanted it to feel very commercial. And I feel like that sort of made it feel that way, at least to me. So again, going for the sort of grid kind of idea and then just filling it in with a bunch of different sort of angled grids around it. And then we just fill it in with commercial and all that. So I think I get it with whatever mall was there, Mall of Moderation or something I think it's called. I put that one in because I was like, that'll do. And then I just zone out the rest of the area to get it to all work. And again, same as the other side, I'm sort of using Move It to level this area out a little bit because it's a little bit uneven. And I'm just like smoothing it down a bit too to get it to be a bit more functional. That's the other thing. I don't think I recorded it, but I did level the interior of the facility as well. So it's a bit more flat because some of the corners were quite hilly. So I decided to make that a little nicer. Yeah, so I did the recycle plants right there at the back and then some industrial. I didn't want to go overboard with industrial, and I'm sort of, as you can see there, I kind of wanted to blend it into the rest of the commercial and all that. So it sort of feels like one cohesive area that maybe has a bit more industrial near the back and then sort of, blends into the commercial. Oh, and here I spent a little bit of time going around and trying to get like a nice neat border of the sort of launch site. Which is something that I don't normally do with any of my districts because this is why it took me bloody forever. I think if I had bigger roads, it'd probably work easier, but it's so annoying. So please do not expect this on other districts. It's not going to happen. I just thought it'd be cool for this one because I wanted it to feel, I don't know, it feels so much more like some sort of government operation. Like they're so picky about the way that it's laid out and all that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the time lapse. So let's go jump into the game and sort of see how it all works. We should hopefully have some more zoning filled in now in the little office park area here as well. And then we'll see what we need to do and what's on the next bit of the agenda. Okay, so here we are in the game in real time. That's right. If I go left, it rotates right. That confused me so much then because you drag your mouse to the left. Yeah, anyway. So there, yeah, this is what it looks like. I think this looks really, really cool, especially with the trees surrounding the whole side and then this being sort of a clearing area in here. I think this turned out really good. So originally what I had done, which as I said, I cut out of the video, is like basically all this area surrounding it looked like this. And I'm just like, that looks so bad. So then that's why now we've got like a satellite dish in here. We got this antenna sticking up here. We got another larger antenna over this way because I didn't want to put that one too close to the airport. Then I think the broadcast station is there. We've got a medical laboratory. I just put that there because it kind of looked like a building that sort of fit the area. And then this same with this one, actually. It's a crypto preservatory, so, death care, basically. But I figured it kind of had the same aesthetic of building, and it kind of seemed like something that would fit in. So that's why that's here. We have quite a lot of trains coming in and out. Quite a lot of cargo planes as well, which is actually really, really good. And yeah, you can see the planes now. If I just jump into this mode, they land appropriately. They don't hit the mountains. Because it's originally, I think we had it over here somewhere, and the planes would come down this way, and they would be like right over the top of the trees, and it was really bad. So we changed that a little bit. And now when they take off as well, they go this way and they go to the left just a smidge. So we sort of cleaned out in front of it. Oh wait, this one's not. Never mind, that one went straight ahead. Sometimes they go that way. Maybe if they turn the other way, they do. Anyway, so it actually worked out really, really well. Then over this way, this is filling in quite nicely. Oh, it's quite busy. I like it. I like seeing when stuff comes to life like this. It's so good. Yeah, so we only have, I guess we have 3 entrances to this area. One up this way, roundabout, and then this one here, which so far is okay. If this grows much more, we're probably going to need a better connection to this area in general. We probably want to go out this way somewhere. I don't know where we could go, to be honest. Maybe through this way, because there's like, if we go up here, maybe we go through the mountains, have like a mountain pass or something. Because then we could join down to this highway. Because at the moment, like I said, so if we go back over here, so originally this was like they would come off the highway, go this way, and then this corner here was their only connection. They had to go up and around. Some still do, and that's fine. Which actually reminds me, I need to fix this road because I forgot I did this. I made it really uneven and look awful. So let me change that. We can probably just go back to the roads that we had. Oh, hang on, normal. And then that bit too. Because yeah, I only did that because get rid of the traffic lights too. I only did that because there was so much traffic through the area that I had to, provide more lanes. But I don't need it anymore because we did this instead. So we have this roundabout here, which is actually flowing quite well given how much traffic is actually passing through it. But like I said, look at this place. With the high-speed rail, the other rail lines underneath, all of this, it's just like, what is going on? I think we could benefit from just turning this road to one that continues directly underneath, and then just having even just a really simple classic interchange like this. Like even something just like this would probably be fine. It might not be as good in terms of traffic flow. There might be a bit more build-up, but it would look a hell of a lot better. I can guarantee you that it would look a hell of a lot better. So that's something we might need to do. And then over here, yeah, so this is a whole thing that happened. Originally, like I said, and you saw in the time-lapse, we had a roundabout here. That didn't work out. So then I tried a few different things. A simple T intersection was really bad because most of the traffic is coming this way and flowing on. So essentially we have this one road that flows directly through. It doesn't stop. Nothing stops. If you want to go left, you can easily just peel off that way. Then this other road coming, the original road coming, oh God, I forgot to fix that. That's really steep. Oh, I'll fix that later. The original road coming through this way, if they want to go right, they come this way, and then they just have to sit here, give way to that traffic, then they can eventually go. If they want to go left, they sit here, give way to the oncoming traffic as well. And then if they're going this way, but they want to continue straight on, then they use this slip lane that just goes underneath and around. So basically, this road here gives way wherever they're going. This one is the main flow of traffic, and that actually works quite well. And I think especially if you can see the main flow of traffic, especially if we build up this area, it'll fit in a little bit better. But you know what, for now, what we can do, probably just put some trees around it. It'll probably look actually miles better too, because then it sort of looks like it's fitting in with the environment a bit. There you go, look at this. There you go. Beautiful. Now we do need to fix this though. That was no good. This is what happens when we forget about something. So I'm going to do a little bit of a slope. I always forget to look up what the shortcut for the line slope thing is. But anyway, there we go. So that's good. That's a little bit nice. I quite like. I don't know. I quite like that. I like little infrastructure things like that where it sort of solves a traffic, problem in a weird way. So the interesting thing is, this road has actually a lot of traffic on it. As you can see, it is like orange, like dark orange, almost red. It's not red though because there's not enough traffic for that, except for maybe this bit. Oh, there's no water there. Sorry, guys. Except for maybe this bit. But I don't know. I find it really, really interesting. You know what? We need to do a better turn here because this is no good. What we could do, maybe get the asymmetrical road because obviously that would make more sense. So now we'll have to make sure that everything is lined up and connected, so that can go there or there. This one goes there, and that one turns right. This one only goes forward, and then this will, if I could find it, split into these two lanes. And then we also want to make sure that the speed limit is the same as the surrounding roads, otherwise we're going to have to slow down massively. And then what we might be able to do is say this road has to give way, although that didn't really work, so I might just get rid of that because then it's going to not work how I want it to. Anyway, you know what? There's a node right in the middle. You have to choose your lane back there. So now anyone turning right will go in that lane, and then all other traffic will continue on. But having said that, the problem is that, yeah, it's because they're cutting across traffic. I mean, you know what? Probably a roundabout would solve that a lot, because that's essentially how we solve that problem. Okay. Well, there's more traffic going in here than I thought there would. It's probably all the industrial that we added in. That's what's probably driving all the traffic. So, all right. Look, it was. I like that kind of intersection because it's a bit fun. It's a little bit different. But if it's going to be that stupid, we might even keep these two roads separate then until they get to the roundabout because that'd be quite good. So we're going to have to redo this while you're here. You know, this is something we can do together. It's like a little family project. I was going to duplicate this because we'll just steal that one because we've already got one. So might as well use it. So we'll try and line these two middle nodes up with this road so you can see there. So we'll put it about here maybe. Looks about right. We don't have the follow terrain thing on, so we got to fix this obviously. So let's bring that up. And you know what? Control H, make it that height. That's probably good. And then we can join everything up to that. And hopefully this will work a little bit better than what we had. Because we've obviously got a lot of traffic coming through the area. And as such, provided a little bit of an issue. Alright, so now this is the exit. So basically we probably want the exit to come off that way and then the entrance, if we can curve it in. The problem is pretty small roundabout. I probably should have made this a little bit bigger because it's going to make it difficult to make it look good. But we'll say, you know what, hang on, before I do this, first of all, come back to ground view. Let's build these roads in the middle because this will stop it changing a weird shape. This one can probably just come straight off of here, actually, I reckon. Where is that? That's not giving me a node. But we can do here to here. No, that's not working. That's already got a curve on it. Oh, okay. Yeah. So let's do this instead. We'll go this way. So we'll have to fix that park, probably. And then this one can go like that. Yeah. And then obviously flip that little bit there. Okay, so then that will be a nice, like, smooth turn off. Now, the problem is this one coming back... This road is pretty much in the way because the only place we can join is here and there's already like two intersections there. I think we might have needed to use that roundabout. Okay, let's see how this works, slash if it does at all. So we got a larger roundabout. I tried to sort of smoothly get these guys to join onto the roundabout and we'd probably, you know, benefit from another lane here. Maybe that just turns left so they don't have to join it. Not sure why those guys are stopping here, because they shouldn't be doing that. They can continue on. I don't know why. They shouldn't be giving way. They've got priority. I don't know why they were doing that. Hopefully that's not a problem. Anyway, we seem to still be having a little bit of a slowdown trying to get people onto the roundabout. I guess because there's probably a lot of people turning right. So... even with this, a roundabout might not be the solution just because there's so much traffic already trying to get across. You know, actually, the solution to that is probably just have another road that goes over there. Does that have because the thing is, that's our only connection point to that whole area, which then means everyone from here is trying to get there, then everyone coming this way, which is our only entrance, is trying to get here or there. They can't get past because everyone's trying to go there. In that case, we probably could do a road. Maybe we can just go under here. Oh, see, I would like to come from this roundabout, but I don't know that we have room. All right, so that does actually connect underneath there. It has to like sort of go down a bit of a hill, but it's actually not too bad. So what I'm thinking we do now is hopefully nothing, because that now as an additional connection to the area, I'm hoping more people decide to use this. At least everyone coming from here should probably enter that way rather than coming down over there. Although having said that, oh, no, I think we're okay now. I mean, the way we could stop it happening is just maybe disallow cars on that section, so then all the cars go that way. Because currently there's still some people doing that. But it might be because maybe this road is not fast enough, because this is technically a faster, like a higher speed road than this one is. So who knows what the issue is. But that tunnel, like that traffic, not good. So I've actually just decided to go back to this, but I've separated the intersections further away. So everyone leaving the areas from here, everyone going in is there. Then I think really the only other issue that we actually have with this setup is the people turning right and getting in the way of these people. So I'm thinking maybe we could do just a little lane that comes down or maybe over. I'm not really sure the best way to do that, but some sort of lane that crosses the oncoming traffic without actually getting in the way of it. Right, I'm going to be honest, apart from this thing looking like kind of ugly and not great, I sort of covered it in trees so we don't see it as much. The entrance is kind of working now. We've kind of got a solution to that problem, but now we kind of have, well, these people trying to turn right, they're getting stuck because we got the line of people trying to leave. They don't have a way to get, I think we just need there's a better solution to this. And also this roundabout is now backing up because there's so many people here. This is just not a good solution for this whole space. Essentially, what we've done is, I guess if you think of this road as a highway, we're kind of forcing all traffic to use the highway at all times, which is inherently a bad idea. Because imagine if people here of this area wanted to get to this side and they had to use the highway rather than, you know, just driving here without interfering with that traffic. That's kind of what we've done. Kind of by accident. I didn't mean to design it this way. I just didn't think we were going to get this much traffic. So that kind of is like, obviously this area is okay because it's not in the heart of it all as we get further down this way. But this whole entrance area to the area is not great. Now, one way we could probably just fix it is just get rid of the giveaway, because that's what's stopping them going, and just like let them go. And that will probably get things moving, but that's not really a realistic or a good solution in my opinion. So anyway, like I said at the end of the time lapse, we got to add things to our agenda. Namely, fixing this area with a proper solution probably entails, if we're going to treat this as a highway, keep it as a highway. Like, we should do entrances and exits, not just roundabouts. Do it properly. Which is fine, because I think we have plenty of room here. Like, thankfully, I've actually left enough room. Maybe not over here. Might need to move that. But I've left enough room to be able to do that. So I think we can probably figure something out, a better solution through that, like, that area there. And I guess the other major thing to do is over here. Sorting out this spaghetti junction, which is no good. So I think those two things are what I want to work on next. But beyond that, what else do you guys want to see? Like, should we be doing some more stuff around this area? Actually, the other point is we don't have any public transport out here. There's no way to get out here on a bus even, or on a train or anything like that. So we might need to add some transport solutions to get to this location to make it more reasonable. Also, cargo trains, as per usual, are backed up, but that's it's always been like that. That's not new, so let's ignore that. There's nothing we can really do about that anyway, because that's just how the game works and it's being dumb. Yeah, you can see how doing that kind of fixed it, but I don't like that, so I still want to fix that up properly. But until then, guys, thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time, and have an awesome day.